Stop. Take a breath. What if every worry, every opinion, every pressure from the world didn't control you? Imagine freedom like this. Right now, imagine waking up each day feeling completely free, free from the weight of other people's judgments, free from the gnawing fear of rejection, anchored instead in a deep, unshakable inner peace. The world around you, however, is loud and restless. Social pressures, endless distractions, and the expectations of others constantly tug at your focus, tempting you to lose sight of your own path. Have you ever felt that pull, that subtle drift away from who you truly are? Buddhism offers a path through this chaos, a way to reclaim your center and step into your own power. Today, we're exploring 11 transformative Buddhist teachings that guide us to focus on ourselves, not others, and rediscover the calm and clarity that lives within. These principles aren't abstract. They are meant to be lived, to touch every choice you make, every interaction, every breath. First, consider this. Peace does not come from external approval. The more we seek validation from others, the more we tie our happiness to forces we cannot control. By learning to root joy within ourselves, we cultivate resilience. Imagine responding to criticism not with fear or anger, but with calm awareness and understanding. Next, embrace solitude, not as loneliness, but as a sanctuary where you can observe your mind and nurture your growth. Finally, understand the impermanence of external opinions. Just as the clouds drift across the sky without leaving a permanent mark, so too do other people's judgments pass by if we do not cling to them. These 11 teachings, when applied gently and consistently, allow us to release the grip of outside expectations and step fully into our own lives. They remind us that the journey to peace isn't about changing the world. It's about changing our relationship to it, cultivating a mind that is steady, compassionate, and clear. Pause, breathe, and reflect. How different would your day be if you truly focused on yourself and let the noise of others drift past like wind across the mountains? As we step into today's journey, let's pause and consider the quiet spaces in our lives. In this part of the video, we're going to explore embracing solitude, discovering strength within. Imagine a life where being alone isn't a punishment or a moment to escape from, but a sanctuary, a place where your mind can rest, reflect, and grow. Solitude is not emptiness. It's a fertile ground where the seeds of self-awareness and inner strength take root. Many of us rush through our days, filling every moment with noise, tasks, or the presence of others. Yet it is in stillness that we meet ourselves. When we truly embrace solitude, we start to notice the layers of our thoughts, the patterns of our emotions, and the subtle whispers of intuition we often overlook. This is where clarity emerges, not through distraction, but through quiet observation. Being alone teaches us a unique kind of courage, the courage to face our fears, to sit with discomfort, and to recognize that our worth is not determined by anyone else. The time we spend with ourselves cultivates patience and resilience as we learn to rely on our own inner guidance. It also allows us to observe life without judgment, seeing each challenge as an opportunity to deepen understanding and develop empathy for both ourselves and others. Think of solitude as a mirror reflecting your authentic self. In these quiet moments, we realize we are not merely the sum of our roles, responsibilities, or relationships. We are more than the external circumstances of life. Solitude helps us untangle from societal expectations and reconnect with the essence of who we truly are. It's in these moments of stillness that we find confidence, not the loud, showy confidence of the world, but a quiet, unwavering assurance that we are enough as we are. So today, as we journey into this first insight, consider giving yourself the permission to embrace solitude. Allow it to be a space of growth, reflection, and even joy. By welcoming these quiet moments, we cultivate wisdom, strength, and an inner calm that carries us gracefully through life. This is the first step on our path of transformation, learning to see solitude not as loneliness, but as the very cradle of personal power. As we embrace the quiet strength found in solitude, another layer of inner freedom unfolds naturally. When we stop relying on others to define our worth, we discover a space where our true self can shine without the shadows of external judgment. This brings us to the next insight in today's journey: self-approval, releasing the need for external validation. In our modern world, it's easy to fall into the trap of constantly seeking recognition. From social media likes to praise at work, we often measure our value by how others see us. But Buddhist wisdom teaches that real contentment and self-confidence emerge from within. By practicing self-acceptance, we shift the source of happiness from the unpredictable reactions of others to the steady foundation of our own mind. Imagine recognizing each moment of self-compassion as a gentle anchor. When anxiety or self-doubt creeps in, remind yourself, you don't need someone else's approval to be complete. This practice doesn't mean ignoring others entirely. It means that your sense of worth is independent, not dictated by applause or criticism. Buddhism emphasizes that the mind is like fertile soil. If we constantly water it with the opinions of others, we grow plants that bend and break under pressure. Instead, when we cultivate self-approval, our inner garden thrives with resilience and calm. Each moment of self-acceptance strengthens the roots of our personal peace, enabling us to face life's challenges without losing our balance. Consider this. How often do we give ourselves the kindness and acknowledgement we readily extend to friends and family? By redirecting that same care inward, we transform anxiety into clarity and confidence. This is a revolutionary act, not by changing the world, but by changing how we relate to ourselves. The essence of this insight is simple yet profound. Happiness cannot be borrowed. By choosing to honor and accept ourselves, we create a wellspring of peace that no external circumstances can drain. Self-approval becomes a shield, a quiet yet powerful source of strength that allows us to navigate life fully present, without clinging to praise or fearing judgment. So today, pause and reflect. When you feel the urge to seek validation externally, take a deep breath and remember, your worth originates from within. By nurturing this self-approval, you transform the mind, fostering resilience, calm, and authentic joy in every step of your journey. Having learned to honor and approve ourselves, a natural next step appears, discovering that our happiness doesn't need to come from anyone else. This leads us gently into the next part of today's journey, where we will explore inner happiness, releasing dependence on others. True happiness is not found in the praise, actions, or approval of others. It is a light that glows from within, steady and unaffected by external circumstances. When we depend on validation from others, our peace becomes fragile, constantly shifting like leaves in the wind. But when we cultivate happiness from within, we anchor ourselves in something unshakable. Think of your mind as a wellspring. If you rely on someone else to fill it, the water is never constant, sometimes full, sometimes empty. But when you nurture it yourself by embracing gratitude and self-acceptance, the spring flows steadily. Every moment of awareness, every breath of mindful recognition of your own life adds to this inner reservoir. Buddhist teachings remind us that our experience of joy is never truly outside. It is a reflection of how deeply we connect with our present moment, how fully we acknowledge and honor what we have. The simple act of pausing, noticing, and appreciating, even the small, ordinary things, cultivates an enduring happiness that no praise or criticism can diminish. This is also the foundation of resilience. Life will inevitably bring challenges, setbacks, or losses. If our happiness depends on others, we are tossed about by these waves. But if it originates from within, we remain anchored, able to face difficulties with calm and clarity. Every act of self-acceptance, every quiet recognition of our own worth, strengthens this internal foundation. Moreover, by rooting our joy internally, we allow kindness and generosity to flow outward naturally. When we are complete in ourselves, we give freely, not out of obligation, but from abundance. Our relationships become less about seeking approval and more about genuine connection. This is the subtle power of self-sourced happiness. It transforms not only our inner world, but the way we engage with the outer world. As we move forward, consider this practice as a daily meditation. Notice moments when you seek others' approval and gently redirect your attention inward. Reflect on what truly nourishes your happiness from within. By consistently choosing this path, you cultivate a life of steady peace, gratitude, and self-reliance. Today's insight is simple yet transformative. Happiness is a seed within you. Nurture it, honor it, and watch it bloom, independent of the tides of others' opinions. When we embrace this, we not only protect our peace, but also enrich the quality of every moment we live. As we continue walking this path of inner growth, it's natural to encounter resistance, setbacks, and, at times, rejection. And yet, rejection doesn't define who you are. Let's move gently into the next part of our journey today, where we will explore embracing rejection, seeing opportunities beyond no. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It is merely a signal from the world that certain things are not aligned with your path at this moment. Imagine a sculptor chiseling away at marble. Each strike removes what is unnecessary, revealing the true form hidden within. Rejection works in much the same way. It chips away what doesn't belong, creating space for growth, insight, and new possibilities. Instead of shrinking away from no, we can breathe into it, acknowledge it, and let it guide us. Each rejection becomes a gentle teacher, showing us where attachment or expectation has clouded our perception. By observing our reactions with mindfulness, we learn to hold our hearts open without clinging, to let go without bitterness, and to move forward with calm clarity. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that all experiences, pleasant or challenging, are impermanent. Rejection is just another wave on the ocean of life. We can choose to ride it with awareness, letting it pass without being pulled under. The more we practice, the less rejection can shake our inner stability, and the more it becomes a doorway to freedom rather than a wall of limitation. Consider the opportunities hidden in each no. Perhaps it leads to a more meaningful connection, a path better suited to your true self, or a deeper understanding of your own desires and values. By shifting our perspective, rejection transforms from a source of pain into a quiet guide, gently nudging us toward authenticity and self-respect. Ultimately, embracing rejection is an act of liberation. We release the illusion that we must control outcomes or secure everyone's approval. Instead, we cultivate trust in the unfolding of life, knowing that letting go is not losing, but creating the space where real growth and joy can emerge. Today's insight is simple yet profound. Rejection does not define you. It is an invitation to align more fully with your true path, to release what is not yours, and to step forward with courage, resilience, and serenity. Each no becomes a stepping stone toward a more authentic, peaceful, and empowered life. Once we understand that rejection does not define our worth, we can naturally step into the next lesson. Let go of others' opinions. Focus on your own path. It's easy to feel pressured by what others think, to allow their judgments to color your decisions and emotions. But here's a subtle truth. Their opinions reveal more about them than about you. Each critique, praise, or expectation is a reflection of their own fears, desires, and limitations, not a mirror of your worth. When we realize this, the power of their judgment begins to fade, leaving space for clarity and calm. Focusing on your own path means observing your actions and intentions with full awareness. It means asking yourself, am I living in alignment with my values? Am I making choices that honor my true self? This shift from external validation to inner alignment brings a profound sense of freedom. The less we chase approval, the more grounded and peaceful we become. Practicing mindfulness in these moments is essential. Notice the subtle urge to react when someone's opinion challenges you. Pause, breathe, and acknowledge the thought without clinging to it. By doing so, you prevent the mind from being hijacked by fear of judgment. Step by step, you cultivate emotional resilience, allowing yourself to act from integrity rather than anxiety. Buddhist teachings remind us that attachment to approval is a source of suffering. By loosening this grip, we reclaim our energy for what truly matters: growth, compassion, and meaningful living. Letting go of the need to please others is not selfish. It is an act of self-respect and a foundation for authentic relationships. Ultimately, releasing the weight of others' opinions allows you to live fully in the present. You begin to see that your journey is yours alone, rich with possibilities and guided by your own wisdom. Freedom emerges when you honor your path, not the expectations of the world around you. When we constantly try to please everyone around us, whether at work, with friends, or within our families, it can feel like we are walking on a tightrope with no safety net. Every word we speak, every action we take, becomes measured against the expectations of others. This tension quietly gnaws at our inner peace, making even small tasks feel like heavy burdens. But what if we shifted our perspective and recognized that our true responsibility is to ourselves first? The next part of today's video, Preserve Your Inner Peace, Stop Pleasing Everyone, will guide us into this transformative insight. Letting go of the need to please others does not mean we become selfish or indifferent. It means recognizing that our energy is finite, and when we overextend ourselves to meet everyone else's expectations, we sacrifice our own well-being. True generosity and kindness come from a place of abundance, not depletion. When we act from a peaceful heart, our actions naturally carry more compassion, clarity, and power. Imagine pouring water from an empty cup. No matter how much you want to give, there's simply nothing left. But when the cup is full, giving becomes effortless and joyful. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that the mind is the source of all experience. Prioritizing inner calm over external approval allows us to navigate life with equanimity. Instead of bending ourselves to fit every expectation, we honor our values and listen to the quiet guidance of our own hearts. It's in this space of self-respect that true authenticity emerges. People naturally resonate with authenticity. When you are grounded, your presence alone inspires confidence and trust. You no longer feel compelled to chase validation because your sense of worth is rooted within. Practically, this can mean setting gentle boundaries, saying no when requests conflict with your peace, slowing down when the pace of life feels overwhelming, or simply choosing solitude when your energy needs replenishment. Each act of prioritizing inner peace is a statement of self-care and self-respect. It signals that you value your well-being, which paradoxically enables you to give more freely to others without resentment or exhaustion. Every moment you resist the pull to constantly please, you cultivate resilience. Stress melts away, leaving room for clarity, focus, and joy. You begin to notice that relationships improve, not because you try harder, but because you show up as your true self. Compassion becomes effortless, generosity comes from a genuine place, and your life is guided by intention rather than fear of judgment. This is the subtle but profound power of choosing peace over approval. Remember, preserving your inner calm is not a one-time decision, but a continuous practice. Like a tree rooted deeply in the earth, you grow stronger, more balanced, and unwavering against the winds of external demands. Each time you choose your peace over pleasing others, you reinforce your ability to live authentically and compassionately, creating a ripple effect that benefits not just you, but everyone you encounter. Even as the world around us spins with endless demands, expectations, and surprises, there's a profound truth waiting quietly within. The only thing we can truly control is ourselves. This brings us to the next part of today's video, Master Your Mind. Focus on what you can control. When we embrace this insight, we shift from frustration and anxiety toward clarity and empowerment. Consider how much energy we often waste trying to influence others, manipulate situations, or predict outcomes beyond our reach. It's like pouring water into sand, effort after effort, but the results slip away. Buddhism reminds us that our peace and resilience are built not by controlling external forces, but by mastering our own mind. Each thought, each choice, each reaction becomes a brushstroke painting the landscape of our inner life. By focusing on what we can control, we lay the foundation for lasting strength. Practically, this means observing your thoughts without judgment, recognizing impulses before acting, and responding rather than reacting. It's about noticing when anger, envy, or fear arise, and choosing not to let them dictate your actions. The more aware you become, the more your inner state remains steady regardless of chaos outside. Imagine a calm lake, reflecting the sky without disturbance, no matter how strong the wind blows. That is the inner equilibrium we cultivate when we focus on ourselves. Focusing on what is within your control also fosters resilience. Life will inevitably present challenges, from unexpected losses to interpersonal conflicts. But when your sense of self and well-being are rooted in your own mind, you remain grounded. External events no longer have the power to shatter your peace. Your reactions, your choices, and your inner focus become your true power. This mindset is not about isolation or detachment from life, but about empowerment through clarity and self-mastery. Moreover, this principle enhances relationships. When you stop trying to control others or force outcomes, Your interactions become more authentic and less reactive. People naturally respond to calm, centered presence, and your steadiness can create harmony instead of tension. By mastering your own mind, you also inspire those around you to take responsibility for themselves, creating a ripple effect of understanding, patience, and inner strength. Every time you remind yourself that only your actions, thoughts, and reactions are under your control, you free your mind from unnecessary worry. You begin to reclaim energy previously spent on fruitless attempts to control the uncontrollable. This conscious choice cultivates a life anchored in wisdom, compassion, and freedom. Your mind becomes your sanctuary, resilient and clear, able to navigate life's storms without losing its center. This is the essence of Buddhist mindfulness in action, empowering yourself from the inside out. It's easy to feel like the world is constantly watching, judging, and evaluating every step we take. Yet there's a liberating truth that can transform how we experience life. Most people are too absorbed in their own lives to focus on ours. This brings us naturally to the next part of today's journey, the freedom of self-focus, understanding. Others are absorbed in their own lives. But recognizing this can dissolve unnecessary pressure and shift our energy toward what truly matters, our own growth and well-being. Think about it. How often have you hesitated to speak up, pursue a dream, or follow your heart because you worried about how others would perceive you? In reality, their attention is fleeting, often preoccupied with their own worries, ambitions, and insecurities. Buddhism teaches that our suffering often comes from unnecessary attachment to external opinions. By releasing this mental burden, we create space for authentic living and deeper self-understanding. When we fully accept that each person is navigating their own journey, it becomes easier to focus on what we can truly influence: our thoughts, actions, and choices. It's like letting go of a heavy backpack filled with stones. The load diminishes, and our steps feel lighter. This awareness encourages self-compassion and patience, reminding us that the validation we seek externally is often an illusion, while the support we give ourselves is real and enduring. Practically, this insight can be cultivated through daily mindfulness exercises. Pause to observe your reactions. Notice when you feel compelled by fear of judgment, and gently redirect your attention inward. Journaling or meditative reflection can reveal patterns of self-doubt that stem from overestimating how much others notice or care. Once this habit takes root, you find freedom to prioritize your passions, values, and personal goals without the invisible chains of external expectation. This principle doesn't encourage isolation, it fosters empowerment. By realizing others are preoccupied with their own paths, we gain confidence to act authentically, take risks, and embrace opportunities that align with our inner truth. Relationships improve too, as we engage with others not from a place of fear or obligation, but from genuine curiosity, compassion, and presence. Ultimately, understanding that everyone is focused on their own lives allows us to redirect our mental energy to where it counts. We stop wasting thought cycles worrying about imagined judgments and start cultivating our skills, character, and emotional resilience. Our life becomes a reflection of our own intention, not the echoes of external approval. This is modern Buddhist wisdom in action, a gentle but powerful reminder that peace, growth, and fulfillment are cultivated from the inside out. As we journey deeper into understanding ourselves, one of the most transformative realizations emerges. True happiness and fulfillment are cultivated from within, not from the approval of others. This brings us seamlessly to the next part of our exploration: inner growth over external validation, choosing self-development first. By focusing inward, we uncover a source of resilience, clarity, and peace that no external praise can ever provide. Consider how often we measure our worth against likes, compliments, or social recognition. Buddhism reminds us that this constant comparison only strengthens the influence of the ego and the distractions of the outer world. When we choose to turn our attention inward, we begin to cultivate self-awareness, mindfulness, and compassion, qualities that nourish our inner life and reduce the pull of superficial validation. Mindfulness practices allow us to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, creating a safe space for growth. Each time we pause and reflect, we learn to identify which desires and fears stem from our own authentic self and which arise from seeking approval or avoiding criticism. This awareness is the foundation for emotional freedom. It teaches us that we are not the sum of other people's judgments, but a vast landscape of potential waiting to be explored. Self-development also opens the door to greater compassion. As we understand ourselves more deeply, we naturally become more empathetic toward others. Our relationships shift from transactional or performance-based interactions to connections rooted in authenticity and understanding. The ego loses its grip, and we begin to act not to impress, but to genuinely contribute and share our inner strength. Practical steps to cultivate this growth include daily meditation, journaling, and conscious reflection. Begin each day by asking, what can I cultivate in myself today? Whether it's patience, courage, kindness, or self-discipline, these small intentional practices accumulate over time, creating a profound shift in perspective. You'll notice that external validation gradually loses its hold, and decisions start to align more with your true values and purpose. Ultimately, choosing inner growth over seeking approval is a radical act of self-empowerment. It allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace, maintain stability amidst uncertainty, and embrace the fullness of who we are. This is the essence of modern Buddhist wisdom. A reminder that the most enduring peace, joy, and confidence come from cultivating our inner world rather than chasing fleeting applause. After learning to cultivate inner growth and focus on what truly matters within, it's natural to notice how easily the mind slips into comparison. That quiet voice telling you, they have more, they are better, they are ahead, can steal your peace without you even realizing. Today, in the next part of our journey, we turn our attention to a crucial insight. Stop comparing yourself to others. Embrace your own path. Comparison is like a shadow that stretches across your inner sky. When you measure yourself against others, your unique light is dimmed, replaced by feelings of envy, frustration, or inadequacy. But imagine instead seeing your life as a canvas, each stroke intentional, each color yours alone. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that happiness does not arise from surpassing others, but from fully inhabiting your own experience. When we stop comparing, we allow ourselves to notice the small victories, the quiet growth, and the steady accumulation of inner strength. It is here in the daily practice of gratitude and mindfulness that we build resilience against the restless pull of social expectation. Ask yourself, how often have you measured your worth against someone else's highlight reel? And how different would your day be if you paused, appreciated your own path, and celebrated the unique rhythms of your life? The teachings of modern Zen emphasize that each person has a journey tailored to their karmic flow and inner nature. External markers, success, recognition, or praise, are fleeting, like waves on the surface of a vast ocean. They come and go, but your inner peace, cultivated moment by moment, remains. Practicing non-attachment to comparison is a way of reclaiming your energy, redirecting it from anxiety and self-doubt toward presence and purposeful action. Practical ways to embrace your path include reflecting each morning on personal goals rather than others' achievements, journaling your progress, and meditating on the phrase, I am enough as I am. These exercises strengthen self-awareness, reduce envy, and create a solid foundation for authentic happiness. Remember, the goal is not to ignore others entirely, but to measure your journey by your own compass, not by someone else's map. Imagine the liberation when you finally release the need to compare. Your mind is lighter, your focus sharper, and your joy more genuine. The river of your life flows freely, unblocked by the rocks of social judgment. This is the essence of stop comparing yourself to others. Embrace your own path, a mindful step toward owning your story, celebrating your growth, and cultivating a peaceful, resilient heart. Having explored the power of embracing your own path, letting go of comparisons, and focusing on inner growth, we arrive at one of the most transformative insights for maintaining inner peace: the importance of personal boundaries, protecting your inner energy. Life often presents countless demands and expectations from family, friends, colleagues, or even casual acquaintances. Without clear boundaries, our energy is drained, our focus scattered, and our inner calm compromised. Imagine your mind and heart as a sacred garden. Each request, each obligation, each emotional pull is like a gust of wind. Without fences, weeds creep in, choking the plants of your peace and resilience. Setting boundaries is the gentle yet firm way to protect this garden. Boundaries are not about rejection or isolation. They are acts of self-respect and mindful living. By recognizing what you can accept and what drains you, you reclaim the space necessary for reflection, creativity, and calm presence. Buddhist wisdom teaches that the mind's energy is finite, and just as a candle loses its flame if burned at both ends, our inner light dims without proper care. Boundaries help us conserve this flame, allowing it to illuminate our path rather than being snuffed out by the demands of others. Practical ways to establish boundaries include clearly communicating your needs, politely saying no when necessary, and being aware of situations that disturb your balance. This practice also encourages observing without attachment, noticing when others' behaviors trigger tension, yet choosing not to absorb it. Over time, these conscious boundaries cultivate emotional resilience, self-trust, and the ability to give to others from a place of strength rather than depletion. Consider the profound freedom that comes when you no longer let external pressures dictate your mood or decisions. You can engage fully with others, offer compassion freely, and still maintain your own stability. It is not selfish. It is a foundational practice for sustainable well-being. Your inner peace becomes a sanctuary, unshaken by chaos around you, where mindfulness, compassion, and clarity can flourish. By protecting your energy, you also model a powerful lesson for those around you. Respecting yourself allows you to respect others more genuinely. Boundaries create a space where relationships can thrive based on mutual understanding and integrity, rather than overextension and subtle resentment. This is the ultimate expression of self-mastery, showing that true freedom arises not from avoiding people or responsibilities, but from consciously choosing where and how to invest your attention and energy. So today, as we close this journey, remember the importance of personal boundaries. Protecting your inner energy is more than a practice. It is a declaration of your commitment to yourself, a promise to honor your inner garden, and a step toward lasting serenity. By embedding this wisdom into daily life, you create a foundation of stability, clarity, and deep inner peace that no external circumstance can disturb. As we reach the end of this journey, take a moment to feel the quiet power within you. True freedom does not come from the applause of others, the nod of approval, or the fleeting recognition that fades as quickly as it arrives. Real freedom emerges from your own heart, your own awareness, and your unwavering commitment to grow, even when no one is watching. Imagine a life where your inner garden is nourished by your own care, not dictated by the winds of external judgment. This is the essence of living authentically. When you focus on your own growth, you unlock a calm that resonates deeply, not only within yourself, but with everyone around you. People sense authenticity. It is magnetic and healing. The smile you carry, the steadiness in your voice, the patience in your actions, all become subtle ripples that touch lives in ways you might never see. By nurturing your inner self, you radiate strength, compassion, and a serenity that others long to feel. Prioritizing your inner development allows you to live fully in alignment with your values. You no longer bend to the weight of other people's opinions or let fear of judgment steal your peace. Every small moment of self-reflection, mindfulness, and conscious choice becomes a brick in the foundation of lasting happiness. You are learning to stand firm in the truth of who you are, planting seeds that grow into wisdom, resilience, and deep contentment. Think of each day as a new opportunity, a chance to pause, breathe, and check in with yourself. What nourishes your spirit? What thoughts, habits, or attachments do you need to release to maintain your calm? These are not trivial questions. They are invitations to create a life of depth, meaning, and freedom. The more consistently you tend to your inner life, the more effortlessly peace and clarity flow into your external world. So carry this forward. Invest in your growth, honor your boundaries, and cherish the quiet moments where you connect with your true self. Let go of seeking validation and instead give yourself the recognition and love you have always deserved. And remember, your journey inward has the power to inspire others. By living authentically, you teach by example. You remind those around you that peace is possible, that strength comes from stillness, and that joy can bloom even in the midst of chaos. If this message resonates, take a simple but powerful action today. Like this video, subscribe to continue exploring mindful living, and share it with someone who may need a gentle reminder of their own inner strength. Leave a comment below about one step you will take to prioritize your growth. Your words may ignite someone else's journey. Promise yourself and promise the world that in every choice, you will honor your inner light.